Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Travel is impossible in some parts of our viewing area right now. This is a jackknife semi in Jamestown, just off of Highway 281 near Walmart. One of our viewers, Brandon Rudder from Jamestown, sent us this video of his half-ton Chevy pulling the semi out of the snow. We begin tonight with some breaking news as the city of East Grand Forks has declared a snow emergency. Snow removal crews have been pulled from the streets. They'll start again at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Officials say because of the continued snowfall and high wind conditions, keeping the primary streets open was the priority for today. Tomorrow morning, the primary streets will be redone, and that the plow crews will work until all primary, secondary, and side streets have been plowed. If you're at home tonight, the best advice is to stay there. There's no need to put yourself or anyone else at risk. Overall, road conditions are not good, and that's why portions of 2 interstates in North Dakota remain closed. They were shut down earlier today as conditions deteriorated to the west of Fargo and in extreme northeastern North Dakota. I-94 westbound closed from Fargo to Bismarck, eastbound from Bismarck to Valley City. I-29 closed both ways from Grand Forks to the Canadian border. And at one point, the Highway Patrol said there was so many stranded drivers, they were forced to close portions of the interstates. If you're waiting for a loved one to get home, keep in mind that the road conditions are dicey, and where people can drive, they're probably and hopefully doing so at slower speeds. Thanks to Devin Fry for sticking around. You normally see him on the Valley Today, but he's joining us now live for a look at traffic flow. Here's Devin with traffic on the move.
We're going down 45th Street right now, I believe. We're right by the I-94 intersection. Now, I-94 is shut down past here going west, as you mentioned earlier, so that part is nothing really to worry about, but that is compacting traffic in this area, as you can see here. Now, traffic flow is definitely slowed down. We've been going about 25 through this area, and we were only hitting about 45 to 50 on the interstates. So there's going to be a few extra minutes on the roadways today. For your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
All right, thanks so much, Devin. Let's give you a bird's eye view of what conditions look like in the Fargo-Moorhead area. It's certainly quite a change from what I saw during the noon show today. Let's get the very latest on conditions up and down the valley. Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us with no wait weather. Hutch?
This storm very dangerous for portions of the Devil's Lake Valley as we take a look around. The FM area, since just after the midday hour, has seen some larger snowflakes. Those are starting to accumulate now fairly quickly. I just measured 4 inches outside the studios here. Devil's Lake has been hit very hard with significant snow there. Cavalier, and you can see the road conditions up on North I-29 at the Pembina area. And the snow doesn't stand alone. Folks, it comes with winds, and we mentioned gusts over 50. Look at this. This hour, the wind in Jamestown has gusted over 60 miles per hour, 61 miles per hour, and trees were toppled, about 50 of them estimated northwest of Grafton. 50 trees downed by heavy snow and winds. A lot of gusts over 50 miles per hour. The Mesa area, a township just south of Cando, 20 inches reported. Adams, 18.5. Cavalier, over a foot of snow there. Larimore, Jamestown, also over a foot, as is Leeds and Lakota. As we look elsewhere, Crystal, a foot of snow, and we also have that in Niagara. And Sandy Lillehagen reporting that there's some significant snow to the tune of 17 inches in her neighborhood as well, Netchie 9. Here's a look at the storm system. It has parked a little west of where we expected, holding the snow off for much of western Minnesota right now. But there's that band that's been adding up in Fargo. Look at Castleton. Look at western and northern parts of Cass County up through Nelson County in North Dakota. It's nasty. Presently, we have temperatures at or below freezing for most, winds gusting over 40 miles per hour here in Fargo and for most across North Dakota. This blizzard continues, Mike, and significant more snow is expected in the next 24 hours. So the conditions are only going to get worse for some, and I expect it to spread east. We'll have hour-by-hour details.
We'll look forward to that. Thanks. The town of Devil's Lake is essentially shut down. There are very few ways to get in or out. That area is considered one of the targets for this major winter storm. Our Valley News Live is the only crew that's in town, and we want to check in with Courtney Lockie, who has this story.
Keith Wishart is a pilot. He's been flying for nearly 40 years. On Wednesday, he and his crew touched down here in Devil's Lake. And like a lot of people at the Holiday Inn, they're stuck.
The biggest issue is visibility. There's really not much of any sense trying to travel when you can't see across the parking lot. Whether you're flying or driving, it's just not a safe time to be out and about, obviously.
And he's not alone. Hannah Oberst is also a pilot. She was hoping to make it back home.
It is my mom's birthday today. She's in the Seattle area, and I was totally going to fly back and see her, but no can do. And she'll understand, so next year.
Oberst tells us she's been to Devil's Lake many times for work, but that she's never seen anything like this. And she's never been stuck.
We're going a little stir crazy, I would say, everyone. We formed a good group down here, talk about get some food and maybe some games going.
We'll have more from Courtney Lockie tonight at 5:30 as well on Valley News Live at 6. You can also stay up to date on the very latest in the storm as it rolls through by downloading the Valley News Live News app. You'll get breaking news alerts, school closings, the latest weather, and headlines. The best of it, it's all for free. Just search VNL News in the App Store or Google Play Marketplace, and that's where you'll be able to download it. Here's another reason you shouldn't be out in weather like this. Jamestown firefighters struggled with a car fire amid blizzard conditions this morning. Authorities say the fire caused more blocked roads, which only made it tougher for emergency crews to get around. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum has activated state of emergency plans in response to the heavy snowfall around the state. Agencies are closely monitoring the storm. No local or tribal emergencies have been declared, but the North Dakota National Guard is positioning itself as a response unit if needed. In other news tonight, the impeachment inquiry into President Trump is accelerating this evening. A new witness spent the day in a congressional meeting room and in a courtroom, a potentially pivotal ruling. As Scott McFarland reports, a busy week for congressional investigators is ending with a bang.
At first, it was uncertain if former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch would testify in the House impeachment inquiry. Testify she did, in private, under subpoena, telling investigators President Trump wanted her out. Yovanovitch said she was removed as ambassador to Ukraine based on, quote, unfounded and false claims by people with clearly questionable motives.
So far, I think both sides are finding her very credible.
Yovanovitch said the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, an unnamed contact, sought to have her removed, potentially for financial gain. Her testimony noteworthy as Congress investigates a whistleblower complaint the president sought help from Ukraine to investigate political rival Joe Biden.
She was against this. She was against the politicization of national security policy.
Another key diplomat, U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, first declined to testify, but now says he will, under a subpoena, even though the White House has vowed it would not cooperate. Just a few blocks away, a federal appeals court handed congressional investigators a victory, approving a U.S. House subpoena for 8 years of business records from the president, saying it's a valid and enforceable subpoena, an indication federal courts could later approve other impeachment inquiry subpoenas.
And what do they want to do? Let's impeach our president, right? I don't think so.
And for the second night in a row, President Trump is making a campaign speech headed to Louisiana this evening after a speech condemning the House Democrats' effort last night in Minneapolis.
And officials say a political battle is sure to escalate next week when the full Congress returns to Washington. We've been telling you about this all week, and here's one more reminder. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be this weekend's guest on Full Court Press with Greta Van Susteren. The show airs at 6:30 Sunday morning on KVLY. And don't forget the NDSU Bison kickoff at 1 p.m. on Saturday against the Northern Iowa Panthers. You can join us at noon for the Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show. I'll be joining the Brave Tailgaters for some trivia. Beth, Alex, Kyle, and the rest of the team will take you right up to kickoff. Watch it all on the KVLY KFYR Bison Football Network.